So now, we're the only ones here for right now, but we're excited to be in Baton Rouge. We've had just a wonderful, wonderful day, and we're about to hear Keith Beauchamp and a whole panel of people talk about some of the injustices that Black Americans endure just because of their labeling and some of the law enforcement's prejudices. So.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, come on, we're family, so we're going to have a good screening and productive dialogue that would actually lead to a code of understanding that I feel that it could be adopted by each community that I actually go into, and that we can actually live by to end some of these shootings from happening. But I'm a student of history, and I was frustrated when I saw this, and I say I'm a student of history because this issue that we're dealing with today is not an overnight phenomenon. It's been happening for so many years and generations. Of course, many of us who question the rioting that we see in Ferguson, and many of us who question the pain that they're seeing in Black America and what's going on with us as individuals and the impact of Ferguson on others. I mean, we have to understand that Ferguson is only a microcosm of the issues that we're continuing to deal with even today. One of my great heroes, the late Fannie Lou Hamer, vice chairman of the Mississippi Freedom Democrat Party of Mississippi and civil rights leader, she was outraged by the killing of young Black men and women trying to register to vote. And today, you know, there's some similarities what I feel we're seeing in Ferguson that we must be aware of. But one of the things that our sister, our great hero, Fannie Lou Hamer, did was in 1964, she went to the Democratic Convention Credentials Committee, and she made a statement and giving the world a little taste of the pain that she felt in the heart, similar to what I'm feeling today. And towards the end of this testimony and statement that she made, she, in her passionate voice, she questioned America. She questioned America. So now in 2014, I'm doing the same. I too question America. Is this America? The land of the free and the home of the braves? Is this America where 151 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, people of color and the poor may not be called slaves anymore, or are still working slave-waging jobs trying to make ends meet? Is this America, where 59 years since Brown versus Board of Education ending segregation in public schools, we still find ourselves at war with the same educational system that has handicapped us in our needs? Is this America, where 59 years ago, Mamie Till Mobley made the courageous decision to have an open casket so that the world could see what race hatred looks like and see what these races had done to her son Emmett Till, but hate continues to surge in this country? Is this America, where 51 years since the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama, killing 4 little girls, but a child can easily grab a gun today and go to a school institution and shoot every kid in there who's trying to learn? Is this America? 50 years ago, since the signing of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, law inspired by the murders of the 3 civil rights workers and Freedom Summer, but yet our civil rights are being violated today. I have to ask, is this America? As 49 years since the Bloody Sunday of Selma, Alabama, and the signing of the Voters' Rights Bill of 1965, but last year with the decision made by the U.S. Supreme Court, we lost key provisions that secured our rights to vote. Is this America, where an 18-year-old unarmed Black male, such as Michael Brown, can be shot and left for dead in the streets for hours? And 2 months later, we're still asking questions. Like Fannie Lou Hamer, I must ask as well, is this America? Until justice Rose or Trayvon Martin, Rekia Bard, and John Crawford, and many more to name, In the words of our shero Ella Baker, we who believe in freedom must not rest. In other words, the struggle continues. This evening, I will be showing you an episode from my series, The Injustice Files, called Hood of Suspicion. This film was done 2 years ago as a response to the feelings I had after the Trayvon Martin tragedy. But it encompasses everything that we're currently dealing with today. So what I would like to do is screen this film, and we have a great list of panelists. And I would love for us to really have a great dialogue tonight, a dialogue that we can actually be honest with ourselves and honest about what's going on in this community. I don't want anyone to hold their tongue. I don't want anyone to be afraid to ask a question, because only when we begin to have this cleansing dialogue we will be able to move forward collectively in the future. This is not a white or black thing, this is a human thing. You know, Lord knows I long for a time where black issues are seen as people issues. Not saying that the shooting of Michael Brown is a black issue. We all looked at the militarization of the police department going on. I'm not saying that, you know, I have all the answers. All I'm saying is this is going to hit every one of us, whether you believe it or not. And I just hope that it don't, because the next time it may be in your front door, at your front door. So I think it's important for us to really come together tonight, have a great screening, have a great talk. As I said, I have wonderful panelists that's going to come up, and it's going to be great. Trust me. Thank you.
If you believe you may have been profiled by the police, hold your hands up.
The police will kill us. They'll kill us.
I was marched over to my suburban at gunpoint by a police officer. I fired him. I was on the ground just in so much pain. Just, oh my God.
No one's saying that she committed a crime, but she ended up dead.
Just pouring the blood on your sister's life. I can't even describe that pain and that feeling.
If the world to believe that you cannot protect your children and your property in self-defense, if you are a black man in Georgia, or a black man in America,
I know that John will come home one day. You know, I just pray that I live long enough to see that day.
My name is Keith Beauchamp, and I investigate murders. I'm a filmmaker exposing mysteries from the past and injustices from the present. This time, I'm looking at some recent cases of racial profiling, and I'm also investigating how certain self-defense laws can discriminate against African Americans.
Hey, we've had some break-ins in my neighborhood, and there's a real suspicious guy. It's with Shooting Circle. This guy looks like he's up to no good, or he's on drugs or something. Okay, this guy, you want to spell it? He looks black.
On February 26, 2012, a 17-year-old African-American, Trayvon Martin, was killed by a self-appointed neighborhood watchman, George Zimmerman, in Florida. The tragedy sparked a nationwide dialogue on racial profiling that reached all the way to Congress.
Racial profiling has to stop.
By definition, racial profiling is a discriminatory practice by law enforcement when they suspect that someone may be guilty based on his or her race or cultural background.
Just because someone wears a hoodie does not make them a hoodlum. The
racial profiling isn't just confined to the police. It goes on at all levels of society. My investigation will reveal the shocking truth about how it affects African Americans today. I started my journey in Bel Air, Texas, a wealthy suburb of Houston that is predominantly white. A case that made big news in Bel Air, which many believe was a prime example of racial profiling. I wanted to find out more from the family at the center of the story, the Tolans.
Yes, sir. How are you? How are you doing? Pleasure to be here. Great to have you. Come on in.
Bobby Tolan is a former baseball player who was in the major leagues. The victim was his son, Robbie, then 23. At about 2 in the morning on December 31st, 2008, Robbie was driving home in his SUV with his cousin, Anthony Cooper.
So, gentlemen, tell me what transpired that night. Was this the route that you took?
Yeah, we had just come from grabbing some food, so we just came down here. This is a little back way, I guess, to my house.
Tell me what took place when you pulled up in front of your home.
I saw the headlights, and I turned around and just saw that it was a police car. It was making me a little uneasy, so I was like, Anthony, let's go ahead and get in the house.
I showed the Tolans the tapes the police recorded for their own investigators just hours after the incident. This is what Officer John Edwards said about why he followed Robbie and Anthony that night.
I was patrolling the area, saw a black SUV driving a little erratically. As I passed the vehicle, I ran the plate and turned as a stolen vehicle. I did a U-turn and called for additional units.
We started to walk up the driveway, and all of a sudden there was a gun and flashlight pointed at us.
Now, did he say anything to you guys, Anthony?
It was get on the ground, get on the ground. Very aggressive.
Didn't he identify himself?
No, sir, not at all. We were just like, what are you talking about? He said, we got a report of a stolen car. And I said, no, that has to be a mistake. That's my car.
What happened next?
My parents, heard us yelling from inside the house.
I heard a lot of noise outside. So I went outside to, see what was going on. And as I opened up the door, I'm telling Robbie to be quiet, shut up, get on the ground.
We said, just get down, do what he says. We'll take care of this. And we were certain that we would.
And at that point, I was marched over to my Suburban that was in the driveway at gunpoint by a police officer.
A second officer arrived at the Tolan's house, Sergeant Jeffrey Cotton.
I drew my weapon, ran forward, took up a position just to the right of Officer Edwards. There was the male who was standing up was to Officer Edwards' left. The female was moving around.
We're homeowners. Surely they didn't think we were visiting in our pajamas. I said, sir, you made a big mistake. That is our car. That car is not stolen. That's our son's car. His name is on that car. And you're in big trouble.
Because the female's not cooperating, and I feel like we're going to have to put hands on her and physically place her someplace in a safer environment.
He came, he grabbed my arm, he threw me against the garage door, and I hit, and then I went like this. And then Robbie said, get your hands off my mom. And the officer did not say another word.
He's got his hand like he's digging in his waistband. At this point, I'm thinking, I can't believe this guy is really, he's really got a weapon.
You have Officer Cotton claiming that you were grabbing for something. Were you grabbing for anything?
I didn't have any weapons, and I wasn't digging for anything because I didn't have anything to dig for.